So, lads, there is a WNBA team that have been very, very, very much in, they made it clear that they want Caitlin Clark, or they're eventually going to want Caitlin Clark. Along those lines, they made it very, very clear.
Just months ago, Caitlin Clark looked like the perfect face of the Indiana Fever's future. She arrived with record-breaking popularity, sold-out arenas, and expectations unlike anything the WNBA had ever seen. Every game brought new headlines, and every performance reinforced why so many believed she could transform the league. But behind the excitement, questions have started to emerge. As the season has progressed, injuries, inconsistent performances, and growing criticism of the Fever's coaching staff have fueled speculation about Clark's long-term future in Indiana. Fans have noticed moments of visible frustration on the court, while debates about the team's direction continue to dominate social media. At the center of those discussions is head coach Stephanie White. Some believe the Fever haven't put Clark in the best position to succeed, while others argue the team simply needs more time to build chemistry. Whatever the explanation, the pressure surrounding the organization is growing with every game. Meanwhile, another franchise continues to attract attention. The defending champion New York Liberty already have one of the league's strongest cultures, an experienced coaching staff, and a roster filled with veteran stars. Naturally, any interaction between Clark and Liberty players immediately sparks conversation among fans. Recent post-game conversations, friendly exchanges, and public appearances have only added fuel to the speculation. While none of these moments confirm anything about Clark's future, they've been enough to keep rumors circulating across the basketball world. Whether those rumors have any truth behind them remains to be seen. But one thing is clear. The Indiana Fever face enormous pressure to prove they can build a championship-caliber environment around the biggest young star in women's basketball before the conversation grows even louder.
In the bowels of Barclays Center, with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, I'm just having a little fun.
The biggest concern surrounding Indiana right now isn't just the losses. It's whether the organization is doing enough to protect its biggest investment. Caitlin Clark has missed significant time this season because of injuries, forcing the Fever to adjust without the player who drives their entire offense. Every absence has raised more questions about how the team is managing one of the league's brightest young stars. Those concerns intensified after Clark suffered another injury and was clearly emotional while leaving the floor. The images quickly spread across social media. Fans watched as one of the WNBA's biggest stars struggled to hold back tears, creating an emotional moment that sparked countless reactions online. What happened next only fueled the conversation. During a post-game media session, head coach Stephanie White described Clark's injury as something she felt, before saying the team would continue evaluating her condition. While some viewed the comments as a routine injury update, others felt the response lacked the urgency they expected after seeing Clark's visible frustration on the bench. That difference in perception has become a major talking point. Supporters want reassurance that Clark's health remains the organization's top priority, especially considering how much she means to the team's future. At the same time, coaching decisions have come under increasing scrutiny. Questions about minute management, offensive strategy, and player rotations have become common topics among analysts and fans alike. Many believe the Fever are still searching for the best way to maximize Clark's unique skill set while keeping her healthy over the course of a long season. Whether those criticisms are fair or not, one reality is impossible to ignore. When your franchise player spends time on the sidelines, every coaching decision becomes magnified. Every substitution is questioned. Every injury update is analyzed. And every public statement becomes part of a much larger conversation about the direction of the franchise. For Indiana, the challenge isn't simply getting Caitlin Clark back on the court. It's proving they have a long-term plan capable of helping one of basketball's biggest stars reach her full potential.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of physicality that they're able to play with against her. I knew it as an opponent, and I see it as her coach. I'm not exactly sure why, but it just is what it is. And we've got to help her learn to adjust and use it against them in certain ways.
As questions continue to surround Indiana, Another team keeps finding its way into the conversation. The New York Liberty. Fresh off recent success and widely viewed as one of the WNBA's model organizations, the Liberty have become the center of countless fan discussions whenever Caitlin Clark's future comes up. The speculation grew louder after Indiana's matchup against New York. Once the game ended, cameras caught Clark sharing an extended conversation with Liberty stars Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart. Head coach Sandy Brondello was also part of the post-game interaction, and the friendly exchange immediately spread across social media. For many fans, it was simply a group of players and coaches showing respect after a competitive game. Others, however, wondered if there was more to the story. In today's sports world, even ordinary conversations can quickly become headline news, especially when one of the league's biggest stars is involved. That doesn't mean a future move is being planned. Professional athletes regularly speak with opponents, coaches, and friends across the league after games. Those interactions are a normal part of professional basketball and shouldn't automatically be viewed as evidence of future decisions. Still, there's no denying what makes New York an attractive destination in the eyes of many fans. The Liberty have established themselves as one of the WNBA's premier organizations. They feature experienced veterans, championship expectations, strong player development, and a culture that many around the league admire. For young stars, that's naturally an environment people notice. Whether Clark ever considers a different future is something only she can answer. Right now, there is no confirmed indication that she plans to leave Indiana. But as long as the Fever continue facing pressure, and the Liberty remain one of the league's top teams, comparisons between the two franchises are almost guaranteed to continue.
Like, did she have imaging today? Was it just to see how she was feeling? I know you have a game tonight first, but is there any discussion yet about this weekend with her? Because obviously she's a huge part of All-Star.
No discussion yet about this weekend. There was imaging done. And, obviously ruling her out for tonight. But there hasn't been any discussion beyond tonight.
One of the biggest debates surrounding the Indiana Fever this season isn't about effort. It's about fit. For years, Caitlin Clark built her reputation as one of basketball's most dynamic point guards. Her ability to push the pace, create in transition, and control the offense is what made her one of the most exciting players in the sport. That's why many fans have questioned how she's being utilized. At different points this season, Clark has spent more time playing off the ball, allowing teammates to initiate the offense. While that approach can create balance, some analysts believe it also limits one of her greatest strengths, having the ball in her hands to read the defense and create opportunities. It's a basketball conversation that's generated plenty of opinions. Some believe a structured offensive system benefits the entire team. Others argue the system should be built around maximizing the unique talents of a generational player. Finding that balance is one of the toughest challenges for any coaching staff. When a player possesses Clark's passing vision, deep shooting range, and ability to speed up the game, every tactical decision becomes heavily scrutinized. Fans notice every possession. Analysts break down every play. And social media reacts to every adjustment. The Fever coaching staff now faces an important challenge moving forward. How do you maintain a balanced offense while still allowing your biggest star to play the style of basketball that made her successful? That's a question only time, and results, will answer. If Indiana can discover the right formula, the team has the talent to compete with anyone in the league. But if the offense never fully unlocks Clark's strengths, the debate over coaching decisions will only continue to grow. For now, one thing is certain. Everyone agrees on one point. When Caitlin Clark is confident, aggressive, and controlling the pace of the game, the Indiana Fever become a far more dangerous team.
We have just seen the New York Liberty players, after the game, meeting up with Caitlin Clark. It is Stewie. It is Sabrina Ionescu. There is Sandy Brondello. And by the way, Stewie is not leaving New York the rest of her career. That is one thing that I will be 99% sure of. The Stewie is not leaving. New York. Sabrina is not going to leave New York. I think there is a 50-50 chance Caitlin Clark leaves Indiana after her rookie season.
When people talk about championship organizations, they usually point to one thing first: culture. It's not just about winning games. It's about creating an environment where star players can thrive, develop, and believe in the future of the franchise. That's where many fans have started comparing the Indiana Fever and the New York Liberty. The Liberty have spent years building a roster filled with elite talent, experienced leadership, and a clear identity. Players know their roles, the coaching philosophy is established, and expectations remain the same every season. That level of stability is difficult to ignore. Meanwhile, Indiana is still in the process of building around Caitlin Clark. The Fever have one of the most exciting young players in basketball, but they're also navigating the challenges that come with developing a young roster, managing expectations, and finding the right system to compete consistently. Supporters want to see the organization create a long-term foundation, not just for Clark, but for the entire team. Many believe that means surrounding her with the right pieces, improving player development, and making sure the team style of play complements her strengths. Another topic frequently discussed by fans is the difference in organizational momentum. The Liberty have become one of the WNBA's premier franchises, earning praise for their consistency both on and off the court. That success has strengthened their reputation as a destination where elite players can compete for championships. Indiana, on the other hand, is still writing its next chapter. The Fever have the opportunity to build something special, but doing so will require patience, smart decision-making, and continued growth throughout the organization. For Caitlin Clark, the goal has always appeared to be simple: compete, improve, and help build a winning team. Whether that future unfolds entirely in Indiana remains to be seen, but as of now, there is no confirmed.
You can see, and this is one of the more important things. You see this right here? You see this right here? This is Caitlin's agent. This is Caitlin Clark's agent.
The conversation surrounding Caitlin Clark isn't only happening among fans. It's also raising questions about the Fever's long-term direction. Whenever a superstar enters the league, every interaction involving agents, executives, and league personnel attracts attention. That's simply the reality of professional sports. In Clark's case, fans have closely watched her relationships around the league, especially after several high-profile matchups with the New York Liberty. Friendly conversations, post-game meetings, and public interactions have fueled endless speculation online. However, it's important to separate rumors from facts. There is no public evidence that Clark or her representatives are negotiating with another team. And under WNBA rules, player movement is governed by contract status and league regulations. Still, the speculation continues because of one simple reason. People naturally connect elite players with elite organizations. The Liberty have established themselves as one of the league's premier franchises, featuring experienced stars like Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart, along with respected head coach Sandy Brondello. Their winning culture has become something many players around the league admire. Another moment that caught fans' attention came during the WNBA All-Star Draft. Clark selected Sabrina Ionescu early in the draft, leading some fans to imagine what the two guards could look like on the same team. Others saw it much more simply. Sabrina is one of the league's best shooters and playmakers, making her an obvious basketball choice regardless of future speculation. That's the challenge with following a superstar. Almost every decision becomes part of a much bigger story. A draft pick becomes a rumor. A conversation becomes a headline. And a simple show of respect turns into social media speculation. Whether any of those theories hold truth is another question entirely. What remains undeniable is that Clark has earned. While rumors continue to dominate online conversations, Indiana's biggest priority should be much simpler. Build a championship environment around Caitlin Clark. Throughout the season, injuries, lineup changes, and coaching adjustments have created difficult moments for the Fever. Those challenges have sparked passionate debates among fans about player development, offensive strategy, and long-term planning. Supporters want to see the organization fully invest in its franchise cornerstone. That means protecting her health, surrounding her with complementary talent, and creating a system that maximizes her strengths while giving the entire roster room to grow. Meanwhile, franchises like the New York Liberty continue setting the standard for stability. They've built an experienced roster, developed a clear identity, and created an environment where players know exactly what's expected every night. It's the type of culture every rebuilding team hopes to achieve. For Indiana, the mission is clear. Turn potential into sustained success. Because if the Fever continue improving, the conversation will shift away from rumors and back to what matters most, winning basketball games. As for Caitlin Clark's future, the only confirmed reality is this. She remains one of the biggest stars in the WNBA, and fans everywhere will continue following every step of her journey. Whether she's making highlight reel passes, hitting deep three-pointers, or leading Indiana into the future, one thing is certain. The spotlight isn't leaving Caitlin Clark anytime soon. And until real decisions are made, not rumors, the story of her career is still being written, one game at a time.